Welcome everybody to another episode of See It or Skip It. I'm Patrick Beatty, and we're going to start things off with a biopic about one of the greatest Rastafarian singers we know, Bob Marley, One Love. We're delving into the history of Bob Marley when it comes to his roots in Jamaica, to where he went to America, and what the political uprising and problems were happening during the time where he was making his music. Not only did his music change the world in many ways, but it also changed politics in his hometown. Kingsley Ben-Adir continues to prove that he is an incredible leading performer and fully embodies Bob Marley. The music is moving. If you love Exodus, if you love Bob Marley music, it's right up your alley. This is one that you're gonna leave singing a tune in your head the whole way home. That being said, if you're looking for something new in the biopic genre, I don't know if Bob Marley, One Love does everything that you would expect. A lot of the tropes that you've seen from movies like Walk the Line or Bohemian Rhapsody continue to plague this genre to make it a little less enticing for people that want to see something new. The third act seems to wrap up a lot of moments that I wish were fleshed out more. There's a lot more stuff to Bob Marley as a person that I wish we could have explored in the film, but if it's something that you're looking forward to, definitely go and check it out. But for me, I would say you could wait for it until it comes out on streaming. And next we have a new Coen brother film, but maybe one Coen brother is just enough to give you the movie that you're looking for with Drive Away Dolls. Now, I found this to be a pretty amusing story. We have two girls that are set on a road trip to maybe explore more about themselves, about who they are in this coming of age story. It's also somewhat of a love story, and our two leading performances are very good. One of them does a pretty great impression of George Clooney from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, and it ties in with who's directing the movie and who co-wrote it. I love that the film has an independent vibe. I love that a lot of the story elements feels like it could be perfect for a Gen Z love story. And as far as the plot twists go, for somebody that can see most of these coming pretty quickly, I had no idea what to expect. And there's a special cameo from somebody that seems to be doing this in almost every film nowadays, still does a fantastic job. This probably isn't gonna be for your family. If you're planning on going to the theater with a group of friends, maybe this is up your alley, but if you're going with your grandma, make sure that you cover her eyes for pretty much the third of the film. It might be too niche of a subject for some people. I feel like the independent vibe is great. However, it might not find its footing in the theaters. I feel it could end up going into a cult classic genre if people end up picking up later on when it hits streaming and digital. There are some choices that feel familiar to other previous films from the Coen brothers that don't really feel inspired or evolved, but more of just adapted from. Now, whether you like that or not will depend on if you like the movie. And if the jokes are a little too crass, it might not be up your alley. But for me, I would say this is one that you can wait for streaming, and you might have a pretty good time with it. And to round out this episode, we have Avatar: The Last Airbender. No, we're not talking about M. Night Shyamalan's version. This is Netflix's adaptation that they have been working on for the past couple of years. We have a new cast that feel like they were ripped right from the animation, and it feels like a much more faithful adaptation of that animated show that I think fans may end up liking. There's much more humor, there's much more sincerity, while still giving you a darker tone that you could relate to and maybe could do more than an animated film could do. The live-action fighting sequences, the way that they use water bending, fire bending, earth bending, is pretty spectacular. I did love the visual effects, and I loved how they choreographed these fights. My only worry is that this could still be an issue for die-hard fans of Avatar. They do make some changes, and not necessarily ones that are for the better, but just changes that fit for this story that they're trying to tell. But at the end of the day, if you want to be a couch potato for the weekend, this is definitely a see it. And that's it for this week. If you want to check out more of our interviews and reviews, make sure you head to abc4.com, click on the show tab, and go to See It or Skip It. There you can see everything, including a Dune 2 written review that we have up right now. And we will definitely be doing that review next week on See It or Skip It. Make sure that you check that out. Until next time, I'm Patrick Beatty, and I will see you at the next review.